Anna, I mean, what a difference a couple of days makes. What do you make about this sudden AI valuation anxiety?
Yeah, good morning. In some ways, it's expected, right? You can't expect everything to go up all the time. I do think that there is something to be said about the month of August being, special in a seasonal way. But the other thing is there are people who are taking gains. There's also when there's fear that comes into the markets, usually the ones that are casualties first are the ones with the highest valuations, and those are in the big tech names. So, this I think is temporary. I don't think this is a start of anything that will become a trend. But certainly, it's part of being an investor.
Part of being an investor, Anna, how do you protect what have been profits made? Is this actually just a profit-taking moment and people are locking in really big wins that they've seen run up this summer?
It would be prudent to certainly lock in some of those gains, but I don't think you can be out of it because AI is where all the growth and investment is going into it. I mean, you saw, about a month ago, Trump administration coming out and basically pledging its support behind AI and data centers and all the infrastructure and hardware that's a part of it. And certainly, I think this move into taking an equity stake in Intel is a part of that story, and also part of the story of bringing manufacturing back into the United States. So there's a lot of momentum here. Now, government being a part of a private company is a double-edged sword. But if we're to take a look at the upside, there's a lot of support around AI and tech. So I don't think investors can really ignore it.
Anna, to that point, I mean, when you get Intel suddenly, prior to today, running up, valuation soared to, well, the most expensive it's been since the dot-com era, should you be putting that much credence in government backing and in the ability for them to secure long-term demand for future chip innovations?
Yeah, I don't think this is just about the government because we also had SoftBank coming in and committing to, or talking about committing $2 billion in terms of investment. So I don't think this is the end of it. And also, I know the Trump administration said that they're not going to be taking a governance role in this, but if you're the U.S. government and you're one of the largest shareholders, you can definitely influence through tweet. And if the government has skin in the game, is it really going to sit at the sidelines and look at Intel maybe not following through with the Ohio foundry? I could see a scenario. This is speculation, but I could see a scenario in which the government can help to garner those customers for those chips. I don't think this is we'll take an equity stake and be done with it. I don't think that's that.
It's interesting. SoftBank came on board, many feeling that with the help of ARM, we could start to see real competition, maybe even to Nvidia in the longer term, had been some of the analysis written, Anna. Let's think about Nvidia for a moment. It's down over the last couple of days. We anticipate its earnings. Look, more broadly, are the tech tailwinds, the AI trade, still on?
I think it's still on. I mean, Meta just came out, and I mean, I think there are issues there with the management and the team structure and everything. And I don't think it's necessarily good news for Meta. But this hiring spree.
Go into that.
We've seen,
sorry, why is the restructuring of the AI department, Alexander Wang leading when it comes to LLMs and the breakdown of these 4 different areas of focus? Why is that perhaps not good news for Meta?
Well, it's not good news in a sense that in the last 2 months, we've seen a lot of restructuring. This is the type of stuff that makes investors nervous in terms of effective management. You can hire the smartest people at high price tag and put them in a room. If they can't work together and if they can't produce a product, then you don't really have anything. You don't have an ROI on that, right? So this is a type of stuff that makes investors nervous. So I think that's a very meta-specific problem.
I love that you have that idea of ROAI, because that is what many are looking at this MIT report about at the moment. We're blaming, and it's in an unnuanced manner, this particular report out of MIT saying, look, 95% of the work done by companies to integrate AI hasn't returned money or productivity. What did you make of the report, Anna?
Well, I mean, what would you expect? I mean, this is such new technology. I think you have to expect a lot of these efforts to fail in the beginning. You have to have a lot of failures before you can have the wins. That's why I look at the AI efforts by these Mag 7 names as incubation. I mean, to look at ROI and expect ROI within a year or two of them actually really embarking and investing in it, I think it's too soon. I think this is more of a long-term play. And so that report was sort of expected in my mind.